about a man whose life has been nothing short of extraordinary. A man who rose from humble beginnings in a small southern town to become the 39th President of the United States. That man is James Earl Carter Jr., but most of us know him simply as Jimmy Carter. Early life in Plains, Georgia. Jimmy Carter was born on October 1, 1924, in the tiny town of Plains, Georgia. He was the first U.S. president to be born in a hospital, a little-known fact, but a symbol of the changing times. His father, James Earl Carter Sr., was a farmer and businessman, while his mother, Lillian Gordy Carter, was a nurse. From a young age, Jimmy learned the value of hard work and service to others, values that would shape his entire life. Growing up in nearby Archery, Georgia, Carter lived in a predominantly African-American community. This early exposure to racial inequality deeply influenced his views on civil rights and justice. He attended the local public schools and was an excellent student, showing early promise in academics. The Naval Academy and a call to serve. Jimmy's ambitions took him far from Plains. He was accepted into the prestigious United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and graduated in 1946. During his time in the Navy, Carter served as a submariner, specializing in nuclear-powered submarines, a cutting-edge technology at the time. His naval career instilled in him a sense of discipline and duty. While in the Navy, Jimmy married Rosalind Smith, a fellow native of Plains. Their marriage became a partnership that lasted for more than 7 decades. Rosalind was not just his wife, but also his confidant, advisor, and equal partner in everything he did. Returning to Plains, in 1953, after the sudden death of his father, Carter made the decision to leave the Navy and return to Plains to take over the family peanut farming business. At first, it wasn't an easy transition. The farm was struggling financially, but Jimmy's hard work and innovative ideas soon turned it into a profitable venture. This period also deepened his connection to the land and the rural communities of Georgia. A leap into politics. Carter's first foray into politics came in the early 1960s when he was elected to the Georgia State Senate. From 1963 to 1967, he fought for government accountability and transparency, earning a reputation as a reformer. But it wasn't just about politics for Carter. He was driven by a desire to make life better for ordinary people. In 1970, Jimmy Carter was elected governor of Georgia. His inaugural speech was groundbreaking, as he boldly declared, "The time for racial discrimination is over." This was a pivotal moment in the South, signaling a shift toward equality and justice. The road to the White House. By 1974, the nation was in turmoil. The Watergate scandal had shaken America's faith in its leaders, and people were yearning for honesty and integrity in government. Carter decided to run for president, presenting himself as a Washington outsider who could restore trust in the political system. His grassroots campaign focused on meeting voters face-to-face, often in small-town settings. This approach resonated with Americans, and in 1976, Carter narrowly defeated incumbent President Gerald Ford to become the 39th President of the United States. Presidency, a focus on human rights. Jimmy Carter's presidency was defined by his unwavering commitment to human rights, both at home and abroad. He believed that the U.S. should be a moral leader in the world, and he worked tirelessly to promote peace and justice. One of his most significant achievements was the Camp David Accords in 1978. Carter brokered a historic peace agreement between Egypt and Israel, a feat that earned him international acclaim. It was a shining moment in his presidency, demonstrating his skill as a diplomat and peacemaker. Domestically, Carter created the Department of Energy and the Department of Education. He also implemented policies to address the energy crisis of the late 1970s, emphasizing conservation and renewable energy, a vision that was ahead of its time. However, Carter's presidency was not without its challenges. The Iran hostage crisis, where 52 Americans were held hostage for 444 days, tested his leadership. The economic difficulties of the era, including high inflation and unemployment, also weighed heavily on his administration. These challenges ultimately contributed to his loss to Ronald Reagan in the 1980 presidential election. Redefining the post-presidency. For many former presidents, life after the White House is a quieter affair, but not for Jimmy Carter. If anything, his post-presidency became the most impactful chapter of his life. In 1982, Carter and Rosalind founded the Carter Center, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting human rights, democracy, and global health. Through the center, Carter took on some of the world's toughest challenges, from eradicating guinea worm disease to monitoring elections in developing countries. His work earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002, a testament to his lifelong commitment to peace and justice. A life of faith and humility. Faith has always been at the core of Jimmy Carter's life. A devout Christian, he taught Sunday school well into his 90s at Maranatha Baptist Church in Plains. His humility and genuine care for others endeared him to people from all walks of life. Carter also found time to write more than 30 books on topics ranging from his presidency to reflections on aging. His writings offer a window into the mind of a man who never stopped learning and growing. A legacy for the ages. Jimmy Carter's life is a testament to the power of service, integrity, and perseverance. From his early days in Plains to his years as a global humanitarian, he has shown the world what it means to lead with purpose and compassion. Even in his later years, Carter remained active, advocating for peace and justice. On October 1st, 2024, he celebrated his 100th birthday, a milestone few achieve, but one that seems fitting for a man who has lived such a full and impactful life. Jimmy Carter passed away on December 29th, 2024, leaving behind a legacy that will inspire generations to come. His life reminds us all that true greatness lies not in power or wealth, but in the ability to make the world a better place for everyone.